What's up? This is Bacon Mac and Cheese, episode 1. I'm Ben Bacon, and I'm here with Mac Sauce, and we're here to talk about King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Episode 1.
Episode
Did you already
1.
say that?
Yeah, I think I did. But let's just get into it, You're
Let's
probably
get into it.
wondering, who is Ben Bacon? Oh my god, you've never heard of this guy. Who is he? Well,
Nah, you've heard of this guy.
I'm Ben Bacon. And how I got into this position I have put myself into is a pretty complex story, I would say. I don't know. I feel like to really think about how I became put into this position is just through, opening myself up to being myself. I feel like it started back whenever I went to my first King Gizzard concert. And I remember before they went on, Jess Cornelius was the opener. And I would scream at her, being like, I love you, Jess! And then people would laugh. And it was like the first time I was like in this situation where I was in front of a crowd of people just loudly expressing myself and getting positive interactions back. And like I kind of like latched on to that. It felt so good. I was like, my whole life I feel like I only got positive moments in like where I worked or like the friend groups that I had, like playing video games with friends and stuff. I never went out and expressed myself publicly until like that moment. And I was so grateful for that. And so I decided after that Miami show, I was like, I'm going to go and see them the next time that I can. And I looked on my phone, and the next time that they were playing close to me was in Atlanta. And I drove 8 hours by myself to go and see him. And it was Stu's birthday, and it was like the best show of my entire life. And I did it all by myself. And like it was a huge like stepping stone for me again, just doing something by myself. But my biggest fear my entire life has been being alone. Like ever since I was a child, I'm so afraid to be alone, and like to do that alone and then have the time of my life, it inspired me so much. I walked out of that concert and I said to everyone, I was on the rooftop of the parking garage and I was screaming. I was saying, I'm going to go to every single King Gizzard concert for the rest of my life. And
You also said something else.
I did, but I'm gonna keep that to myself, Makayla, right? I'm not gonna share it.
Yeah, definitely not.
Not in episode 1, all right? Maybe you could hear it on episode 69, all right? But no.
For sure.
After that, like that was in October. In November, they announced the residency tour in America, and I was like, I'm gonna buy 2 tickets to every single show as soon as they went on sale, and I did, with no thought behind it. Like I didn't think about like who I was gonna take, other than like I was like in my head I was like, yeah, I'm gonna find some girl and we're gonna go together. It's gonna be so cute. But then that never happened, and I took my best friend at the time, Coulter, with me to go on an adventure of a lifetime that we thought of. We had no idea what we were gonna do at first, and whenever we kept on thinking about it, we were like, we have to make something of this moment. Like we're 2 young guys. We're gonna
Which is every
go
moment?
of like going on and doing the whole thing.
Like every moment along the way or before it happened?
No, like on the tour, like we wanted to. Like,
Yeah.
We wanted to like, capture it. And we wanted like make the most of it, and like
Yeah.
we thought it was so cool what we're doing. We didn't know other people were gonna be doing it. Like we didn't even think about that. We just thought about, we're like, we're gonna go to every show. We gotta put on a costume. Like they gotta recognize us. We want the
Wait,
band.
that's so funny that you didn't know that other people were going to be doing that, though.
No, well, I didn't even cross my mind. I wasn't thinking about anybody else except for myself. Like I really wasn't at all.
Main character moment.
Yeah, sorry. Whoops. Oh, my bad. And Coulter
I'm
was
just
like,
kidding.
Coulter was like, dude, we gotta wear a costume if we're going to every show so the band can recognize us. And he was like, we should do a gator suit. And I was like, no, bro, everybody's going to be in an alligator suit. We got to do something different, bro. Let's show up in banana suits. And he was like, all right, you're the King Gizzard guy. We're wearing banana suits. And like, I also really wanted to do a documentary. I would like, with Coulter, we both watched Channel 5 with Andrew Callahan. And we were really inspired by his type of documenting strangers to where they get to just speak about their lives. And basically, Andrew Callahan never speaks. Whenever he interviews someone, it's always the other people talking. And we're like, dude, let's try to find the weirdest people, the people that don't fit in, and like get whatever they have to say. Let's just try to get them to say whatever. And we were like, dude, we don't even need a film at King Gizzard. We could just film along the way. And we tried that at first. You know,
That's a cool idea. I didn't know that was like what you had in mind.
That was our vision. And like
that's got to happen still.
Of course. I still really want to do that. And like, we did it at first. Like the first gas station we stopped at, we saw this couple and we're like, dude, let's go and record them. We walked up to them and they were like, yo, do you think we could record you guys? Like just talking about like life. And they're like, yeah, sure. You can record us. And they were from like Europe and they like were on vacation in Florida to go see the beaches. And we were like asking them about like what the differences between Europe and America were. And they were like telling us, you know, there's no public bathrooms at the beach. Like, why can't I find a place to pee? And we're like, don't know, man, crazy. And
pee in the water.
Well, it was like
in Florida?
Yeah. I mean, obviously pee, like we could pee in the water. Like everyone can pee in the water. I think they were talking about like going number 2, pooping, I guess.
Oh, right. Is there not bathrooms on the beach though in Florida?
I don't know. Maybe they were talking about in Europe they don't have bathrooms on the beach. I don't know. But there was bathrooms on the beach whenever we went there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that was.
Yeah, there.
But I can't imagine Florida not having a bathroom on the beach.
Yeah,
or at least close enough.
Yeah, I know. There's bathrooms everywhere at the beach. I don't know what beach they went to, but they're also talking about like the American politics and how horrible it is, and I was like, yes, I agree. Yes, it's horrible here, and I was like, it was so cool to get that perspective because like I never tried to get that perspective from anyone. Like, I was a hermit basically my entire life until that moment. And I was like talking to like people, and it felt really good. And we went to the caverns with no ticket.
Was that your first time like talking to a stranger like that?
I mean, I've talked to strangers, but like recording a stranger and having a conversation, like, yeah, of course. I've never tried anything like that. And we went without a ticket. Like, I woke up at 4 a.m. to go pick up Coulter because we're like, we don't have a ticket. What we should do is like hand out bananas and see if anyone has a ticket. And so we went there, we're handing out bananas, like starting conversations, and like no one had a ticket. And I've said this story on my YouTube channel before. I'm so sorry, but like our second idea was like, we're gonna wear vests and we're gonna walk into the show and we're gonna act like we own the place. You know, we're gonna carry in a thing of water.
Bananas. A thing of water.
Yeah.
A thing of water.
We're like, yeah, a case of water. That'll be perfect.
That's hilarious, actually, a case of water.
Yeah, we bought a case of Zephyrhills water to do it, and we were gonna do that. But we asked the parking lot attendant if that was gonna be a good idea because this guy was like our age.
He was chill.
Yeah, I don't know if you met the guy. His name was Tyler. He was like the chillest dude ever. And we're like, bro, we're trying to sneak in tonight. What do we do? He was like, look, if you could find one ticket, the other guy could get in so easy. But the fact there's 2 of you is going to make it really hard. And we're like,
why? Just because the duo sneaking in is hard?
Yeah. And they're like, and we're like, man, let's just try it anyway. And on our way to sneak in, we like have our vests on. We're on our way. This dude is on the phone. His name's Bush, and he goes, "Bro, it sucks you're not gonna be able to make it to the show. What should I do with your extra ticket?" And I was walking by him, and I was like, no way. And I run up to him, and I was like, dude, I don't have a ticket. I really want to get in. I will pay you. And he's like, nah, man, it's for free. Take
That's
it.
fucking sick.
And I'm like, no way. And we run back up to the
This was
parking
June
lot.
1st?
Yeah, June 1st. And we run back to the guy, Tyler. And we're like, bro, we got a ticket. All you have to do is sneak in Coulter. And he's like, I got you, bro. Don't worry.
Oh, he was going to sneak y'all in.
Yeah. And he did. Tyler helped Coulter
Oh,
sneak
shit.
in. And Coulter literally walked in with 2 beers in his pocket. And, like, they have those, like, metal detectors. They didn't metal detect him because, like, he was supposed to be working there, you know?
Oh, so Tyler made it look like he was a worker.
Yeah, Tyler was like, this is my boy. I got to take him to the manager. That's what he was doing.
Okay. Oh,
Like,
shit. That's so nice.
I know. Tyler was
Dude, don't put him on blast. You got to bleep his name out.
No, what? Tyler doesn't work there anymore. That was 2 years ago.
Oh, he doesn't?
I don't know.
How do you know?
Tyler, if you get fired, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I love you, bro. But we both got into the venue, and, like, it was the coolest thing ever. And that was, like, the first, like, I guess that's magic, right? But, like, that was, like, an overwhelming amount of, like, there's, like, we did that shit. Like, we had a goal in mind, and we did it. And, like, we could do anything. Like, anything we set our mind to is possible. And, like,
So was it your 4th show?
Yes.
Or 5th?
Yeah, it was
4th?
Yep. And then, you know, day 2, well, when we were coming out, like, the security guy pulled Coulter aside and was like, did you sneak in here tonight?
Right.
And
I was going to say, you guys got caught,
Yeah.
so how...
And Coulter was like, I don't know, maybe. And the guy was like, well, look, buddy, if you try to come in tomorrow, you're getting arrested. And we're like, all right, we're not
Getting
gonna come in tomorrow."
arrested?
Yeah.
But
that's
you
what he
didn't
said.
sneak in. You got a ticket.
Yeah, I had a ticket.
You should have been like, no, I had a ticket, and showed
Well,
him.
yeah, he was saying it to Coulter, and I was just watching.
So he knew.
Yeah,
This guy knew Coulter snuck in.
Yeah. The way that he had to do it was like, he knew. And so then, June 3rd, whenever we went in, we decided to wear banana suits on June 3rd because June 2nd, we're like, dude, we had our fun. You know, we got in for free. Like, that's good enough. You know, we'll sit out June 2nd. And June 3rd, that was my birthday. I was like, dude, we got to put on the banana suits. We walk in there. And
Debut? Was that the debut in the
yeah.
banana suit?
Well, like, all day we were in the banana suits, but we walked into the venue in the banana suits. And you and Carter.
That
were,
was
like,
when we met.
Yeah, you were like the
Yeah.
first people we talked to. We walked up
No
to you guys.
way.
Yeah, and
That's so weird.
like I went up to you.
I remember that very vividly.
I don't. Not even a little bit.
I didn't really say anything. I was just
Yeah.
kind of, I was
Yeah,
waiting for
you
my
didn't say it was
food.
only Carter. Carter was
Yeah.
like, I was like, oh, you have a camera. What are you guys doing? And you're like, oh, we're filming a documentary. And Carter was like, I went to film school. And, like, I'm so ready to do this documentary about the whole tour. We're doing the whole tour. And, like, when I heard that, I was so intimidated. I was like, oh, my God. 2 girls our age doing the exact same thing as us. Their documentary is so much cooler. They have a real camera. They went to film school. Gosh, this is too much for me. And so, like, after that, like, our documentary, like, we tried a little bit. After that, we filmed another guy named Jesse. But other than that, like, we kept on running out of space on our phone. And then,
Dude, it's so hard to record enough. Like,
Yeah.
you have to, like, just be recording all the fucking time to get the
Yeah.
moments.
And then, like, every time we're recording, it would be like the video would cut off in the middle of it because it would be like too much space and like not enough space. I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible.
Yeah, Carter literally had, like hours and hours and hours of footage.
Yeah, I bet. She had me.
I don't know if it was 40 or 400. Like, it was a crazy amount.
But yeah, that same night, I met Echo by the bathrooms. That was the first time I ever met Echo. I went up to her, and I was like, no way. I think I know you from Discord. And then she was like, I'm not on Discord. I'm on Reddit, though. And I was like, no way. I thought I knew you from Discord, but
Oh,
you're
we
on
love Reddit.
we love Reddit. And she was, and then she like felt like she had a connection with me there. And I was like, this is cool. Like, another fan that's gonna go to every single one of the shows with us. This is so cool. And yeah, that's like, that's where I felt like I was born, is in the caverns. Or like, I felt like,
Whoa.
honestly, like I was a boy and then I transitioned to a man after like
Yeah, that's what you said.
that the acoustic show. Like, during that, like, that's when I like really like, I felt like I don't want to be the banana boy. I want to be Ben Bacon. Because, like, I felt like for my whole entire life up until that point, I was like so obsessed with trying to be someone else. Like, I remember growing up and I always had this role model, whether it be like a YouTuber or a streamer, that I had in my head that was like, I want to be just like them. I want to be following their footsteps, doing exactly what they're doing. And I would always try to be someone that I wasn't. And until that moment, it's like I had like epiphany inside of my head. Of like, oh my God, it's actually so cool just being myself and figuring it out and like doing whatever I want to do. And I felt like I was unstoppable. I could do anything. And it was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to every single King Gizzard show for the rest of my life. And I would come out of each show and I would scream it. I would be, everybody, I'm Ben Bacon. I'm going to go to every single King Gizzard concert for the rest of my life.
Wait, so did that, you came to that conclusion after Atlanta, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I kept on saying it over and over again. Because, like, I would doubt myself. I would, like, be like, maybe...
Yeah.
I don't know. Should I do it? Like, I could do other things. And then, like, I would go, and then I would be like, nah, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, this band is, like, creating something no other band has ever done, ever. Like, why would I not want to be there for it? Like, I have to be there for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is how it feels.
That's how it feels. For sure. Yep. I could keep on talking about it. Should I keep on going?
Yeah, keep going.
So then, like, that whole entire tour, more magic kept on happening. Like, each stop we went to, we met new people that were doing the whole thing. And we would have these experiences outside of the shows that felt, like, so surreal, too. Like, I remember in between Red Rocks in Chicago, we, like, camped out somewhere. And we...
Because you guys drove.
Yeah, we drove the whole tour. And
Those are pretty gnarly drives.
Yeah, dude. One of those drives was the worst drive of my entire life. Like, it was so
Yeah.
bad. But from Chicago to Washington, bad. No, like, we stopped in, like, Nebraska at a campsite, and there was, like, this couple that was, like, cooking up weenies, and we were like, let's go and talk to them, you know, like, let's see what they're up to. And it was like these two people, like, they were like 18 years old and they're from Canada. It was like their first time in America. And when they were talking to us, they told us, they're like, you know, you're the first Americans that we've ever had a conversation with. And we were like, no way, like, you're in Nebraska right now. You drove from Canada, like drove from like Vancouver or Toronto, or I don't know. I understand that those are both on the completely opposite sides, but
Yeah.
I really can't remember where they're from. And we're talking to them, and they're like, one of them was like, I want to be a cop when I grow up, and the other one's like, I want to be a lawyer. And we're like, so we had a joint, and we were passing it to them. We're like, do you want to hit our joint? And they're like, I want to be a cop. I want to be a lawyer. It was so funny.
Did they hit it, though?
The dude did. The girl did not. They were like,
Who was the cop? The dude?
Yeah, the dude.
So the cop hit it, though.
Yeah, the cop hit it. I mean, dude is not a cop. I don't believe it. That guy was so chill. Like, he was camping out, smoking weed, eating weenies. Like, I mean, he could be a cop. Who knows?
Fuck the cops.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, Chicago was the first time I ever went on the rail, and like,
Oh, wow.
I went on the rail all 3 nights, and I was like,
That was
mind-blowing
gnarly.
experience. Yeah.
Oh my god.
The crowd crush was
Holy
so
shit.
good, but
And it was rainy, super
It
rainy,
was like cold. It was like
windy.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been worse.
Yeah. No, there's been worse shows. After
Maybe
that.
like the last one, the last show.
What in Chicago? But I felt so good, honestly. Like it felt like, oh my god, they're gonna finally play Change. Like this is so cool. Like, there's no
Yeah.
way. Like it was like the all day we're like in the rain. Like there's no way they're gonna play Change, right? And we would hear
Was that the
sound
song
check.
that everyone was like talking about that time? Oh, they sound checked it.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
like from the beginning of the tour, that was the
Well,
one
I
song
know.
wanted
That's
to
what we
hear.
were waiting for.
Yeah,
I know.
everybody
And
was
they
waiting for
haven't
Change.
fucking played it since.
Nah, they played it like 2 times after that.
Where?
They played
In
it
Europe?
in Rim Liquor, and then they played it
Right.
in Europe. Yeah, once.
But okay, but like
But
that, like it's been a
it's
while.
been a long time.
Yeah.
I don't see them picking it up anytime soon, unless like FOV. They practice.
Oh my
for
god, that would be I cannot imagine them pulling out changes in a show.
No, dude,
At one of these shows, like
that
what?
I would die. I would
Or like
explode.
table, I mean it's on the table, right?
Yeah,
Well, it's more like keys.
It's a lot of keys, but they do have table set. Like the thing is with Change is it's like it's 4 different songs completely, and the sides of the same song. So like the beginning is a
right.
lot of keys, but then like Joey's part is all on that fucking the aisles and shit. But then right after that is when they pull out the guitars. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. That was sick. Though hearing that in Chicago was like such a beautiful moment.
Mm-hmm. Oh, truly. It was like the best ever.
The puddles were also beautiful. Like I loved being in the rain.
Yeah,
I mean, I was
dude,
shooting,
I felt
but
like I had this moment there. Like one of the first days, I don't know if it was day 1 or day 2, but we bought these like cheap ass ponchos, and
Yeah.
like they got demolished by like just the crowd crush and everything, and we like ripped them
like
off,
ripped apart.
and then we like threw them over the rail mid show. We're like, fuck this shit, psh. And like then the next day they played Plastic Boogie. And then I like had this epiphany. I was like, dude, fuck plastic. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna steer clear of plastic. And like, I went home after that tour, and I was like, I'm gonna reduce my plastic by as much as possible. I tried my hardest every
Yeah.
single turn to like think about how much plastic I'm using, because like I felt so bad about that. I felt so bad about like having that plastic for literally like 30 minutes and then just ripping it all off and like, it's trash now.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, when you become aware of it, like, it is easier to cut down when you're aware of it.
Oh,
like,
yeah, for sure.
but it's also like it's in everything.
I would get weird about it, and I still do get weird about it. Like, whenever I go on tour, I bring my mug, not this mug.
Yeah, yeah.
But I go and I'm like, I'm filling up this mug every single place I go. Like, I don't want to use your plastic cup.
You do that.
I don't.
That's
I don't
good.
like it. Yeah, no, I think it's awesome. I try to do it at home as much as possible. Like whenever I buy something, I'm like thinking about the waste that like it's going to produce in the future. I try
Yeah,
to
because
buy
it
things that don't.
stays. It's just crazy that it stays on the earth for so long,
Yeah, but for our entire lives at least.
much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after that tour, after 23, I was like, I have to figure out how I'm going to be able to do this for the rest of my life. And like the people that I saw that like I looked up to and was like, yo, you're doing it. Like you're showing up to all these shows and it's easy for you. And I'm like watching you be able to do it was like mainly Echo and Lane. Like seeing Echo and Lane both like show up to all these shows, selling their shit, making money on the road.
Wait, when did you meet Lane in Chicago?
I like would see Lane and I would try to talk to Lane a little bit, but whenever I really talked to Lane, it was Hollywood Bowl. I showed up like at 7 in the morning trying to get a pit ticket, and I walked up to Lane and I told him how much of an inspiration he was to me, and like he finally opened up to me. Like Lane, you know, sorry Lane, whenever you watch this, you're gonna have to hear it, but like before you get to know Lane, like he kind of puts on a face. Like it's kind of hard to approach him. and like I wasn't able to get to him until I like was like, yo, Lane, like I'm so inspired by, like, I want to do what you're doing. He was like, that's so cool. Like he like was like, oh, it was so sweet. Like we hugged, and it was like a really cool moment. And like I went home and I was like, what am I gonna do to be able to make it on the next tour? And I was like, I've been tie-dyeing for years at that point. Like 2 years I was like tie-dyeing for myself. So I was like, I want to try to create tie-dyes that I could sell on tour. And so I started my own business at home called Ben Bacon's Tie-Dyes. And I would go to my farmer's market and I would sell tie-dyes for $20. And what I would specifically do is I would only use shirts and clothes that were from thrift stores or locally donated to me or from my own closet that I would dye and then I would sell. I specifically made sure every single thing on my booth was handmade, and it was like I try to steer clear from like using like anything from the fast fashion market. And it's something that like I wish I kept inside of my business today, but like I was so dedicated to the fact that like the fast fashion market is fucked up. Like they
Oh yeah.
like have all these clothes every single season that they just literally throw away in dumpsters or light them on fucking fire and ship them out to Africa
And it's
put them
toxic
in these giant
plastic.
It is. It's literally all plastic too. And it's like, and so like I would every single person that would walk up to my booth, I would tell them it, and like it was so funny. Like some people would eat it up and they were like, "That's the coolest thing ever," and other people like, "That is disgusting. I'm not gonna wear secondhand shirts." So I'm like,
You could do that. You could thrift stuff.
I could,
And dye it.
you know, it would be so much harder and so much more expensive and so much more time.
You think it'd be a lot more expensive?
Yeah, significantly.
Or you could just
in my hometown, like going to Goodwill.
thrift stores are not cheap. Yeah.
Thrift stores are not cheap, and like
I know it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
But maybe you could just find clothes, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I tried to with my first shirt that I did, like going into that tour in 24. I made 300 tie-dye shirts, and I got it printed in my hometown. And I used the design that I created with my like friend from my hometown, good friend of mine, Manny. And like I did it all by myself. I never asked anyone how to do this. And I just made 300 of them, and I put them all in my car. And the shirts that I used, I felt like I was getting from a good place because I went on Facebook Marketplace and I found some dude who like was trying to get rid of this giant stock from a business that failed.
Oh, that's good.
And it made me feel really good about buying those shirts.
I mean, that's like waste.
Yeah. Like,
So.
and so I used those shirts, and I remember like going off on that tour was like the most scared I've ever been in my entire life.
Starting 2024 tour?
Yeah.
Wow, look how good it was.
Yeah, and like the reason why I was scared is because, one, I had $0 in my name. My bank account said $50, and I had 2 maxed credit cards. The only thing I had was those 300 shirts to sell, and
Yeah.
I never sold shirts at a concert before, and I didn't know how people were gonna look at me because like I knew that like other people were doing it, like Echo and Lane were doing it. But I didn't know if they were going to look at me and be like, oh, look at this guy trying to sell some shit. Like, fuck this guy.
Well, it really changed over that year from 23 to 24.
Yeah, 100%. It definitely did. And I think a really positive way because, like, I felt like before.
Well, yeah, it grew.
Yeah. I felt like before that, in my mind, I cared more about what the band was producing, like their merchandise. I was always buying their merch. But in 24 is when I was like, dude, like, I don't care about your shit anymore. Like, I didn't...
Damn, bro.
I didn't buy a single one of their shirts or anything from a merch.
Because the bootleg?
Yeah, because the bootlegs were so much cooler. And I got literally... I'm not even kidding. I probably got 100 different shirts on that tour alone.
Oh my god, in 2024?
Yeah. like
You were doing a lot of trades, huh?
I was doing a lot of trades, and like I won this one raffle in New York that like
Yeah. Oh my God.
I got like 20 shirts from that. That was like awesome,
That's crazy.
and I still wear them all the time. Like
That's
this
super cool.
yeah.
Dude, you have like the 2024 tour of like
Yeah, I have every single
everything
bootleg.
that, yeah,
And
that's
literally
awesome.
every single bootleg that was created, I felt like I got from the 24 one. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Like going into it, I was so nervous, and like I was doing it by myself for real that time because like Coulter wasn't coming with me, and like the only people I really connected with in 23 was Danny, Chase, and Noah. I put them all in a group chat after Hollywood Bowl, and I was like, yo, I need to connect with somebody that's my age. And I put those three in a group chat because I don't know if you knew it, before that tour and during 23, I refused to do any social media. I was like, no Instagram.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, like, I was like so against all social media. And like, people would ask me. I remember Echo coming up to me and was like, what's your Instagram? And I was like, I don't have one. And I don't want to do it. And she was like, how are we going to connect? And I was like, I don't know. And like, after that tour is like, I kind of realized like, wait, like social media can be an insanely powerful tool, and it could be a lot of fun too. Like I have so much fun on my Instagram now. Like
Yeah, you do.
it's so much fun. I love it. Like it's actually so much fun. Like I and so like I don't even remember what track point. Oh yeah, I was like I'm gonna go with the 300 shirts with literally no plan besides I have tickets to every single show.
You did in 24?
I bought every single ticket when they went on sale in 24. I've spent $3,000 on my credit card for all those tickets. There's 3 tickets I didn't get. I didn't get because I wasn't gonna buy one that wasn't a pit. I was like, I didn't want it to be like the Caverns where it was like, dude,
I'm in disbelief that you spent $3,000 on a credit card for that.
yeah,
Just because you know how it is.
yeah, now, yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy to think about. I mean, no, I get it with the pit ticket. Well, I don't get it because
I'm gonna
I'm.
be in a pit every single one, and like there was 3 I didn't.
They were
get.
expensive. They were
So
expensive. Yeah.
expensive.
Like the pit tickets are like over $100. I feel like,
Yeah, dude,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. It was bad.
Oh my God.
I didn't, but like I had no idea. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing it. You know, I was gonna figure it
Yeah.
out. Like I was so determined. You know, I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I did. And I showed up with so much fear, and um, like
Fear? You showed up with fear?
I was
Despite the fear, you showed up despite the fear.
yeah, I was freaking quaking in my boots showing up. But like
You know, I was really nervous before 24 tour as well. I haven't really been nervous like that since.
yeah, I was nervous for Europe too.
You know, I weirdly wasn't.
I was nervous for the second leg too.
I weirdly wasn't. I don't know
For
what's
the
gotten
second
into me.
leg, I put myself in a worse position for the second leg.
Why?
Like, because I made 200 more shirts and I had them all shipped out to LA.
Oh,
And
right. Wait, but
I had no money to my name, and I had to pay rent on the first.
oh yeah, I
November
remember.
1st, and
But
I
you got
didn't-
it.
I didn't have the rent money.
Yeah,
And
I
I was like,
remember.
I have to sell like 10 shirts at this show if I need to pay my rent. I was so nervous. And like, that's when I was like picking up Vic at the airport too. And like, I had no idea what to expect with any of this. Like, I was like, what am I going to do? And like, I didn't sell the 10 shirts. And I had to go up to Danny. And I was like, dude, can you please spot me like $250?
Well, he offered.
He did offer.
Yeah.
He did offer. And he
But
was-
yeah, I mean,
spotted me.
but you made it work.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
But yeah, that's
I
crazy.
am
Well, you
still
because you had to fly back here.
yeah,
your
I
car
fly-
was here.
Yeah, I left my
Yeah.
car in LA for that whole month, and so I didn't work a job. And so all I did was tie dye. I tie-dyed these 200 shirts. I'm still sitting on a bunch of them. Like, they're on my website. If you
Link in the
buy
bio, yeah.
Link in the bio. They're on my website. And yeah, I was so afraid, and it was like the best time of my life too. That's when I was holding up the sign too. You don't know how deathly afraid I was to hold up that sign. I was thinking about
Which
it.
one?
The sign that said Giz Pit Crew.
With the forum?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were nervous about
I was
it.
deathly afraid to do that. I was like, I'm gonna get decked, bro. I'm gonna get punched in the face. Some guy's gonna look at this sign and hit me hard. I was so afraid. I was telling everyone, I was like, and everyone was telling me to be careful. Like, I remember so many people, like, dude, Jack came up to me and he was like, dude, you gotta be careful with that sign. Like, you don't know what kind of fools show up to this show. Like,
At the forum?
yeah.
I thought it was fine.
Oh, yeah, it was fine. Like, after I held up that sign, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever done. Like, I was like, I want to hold up this sign as much as possible. Until I started getting backlash online. And then that made me feel horrible. Like, I try to hold up the sign pretty much at every show that I wasn't planning on getting, like, really messed up at. Like, in Vegas, I was like, I'm showing up drunk. I'm not holding that sign. But, like, after that, I was like, I'm going to hold this sign. And
Did you bring it the whole tour?
Well, in OKC, the security at the venue was like, took my sign.
Oh, wow.
And then was like, get rid of that vest.
Oh, shit. They probably didn't want you to seem like a fucking worker or some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. And then after that, like, and then, like, I would go on, like, Facebook and Reddit, and, like, people were so mean about it. They were like, dude, who the hell does this kid think he is? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, I'm trying to do a good thing. And honestly, I was getting so much positive feedback at those shows. There were so many people that would come up to me and thank me before or after the show. They were like, what you're doing is incredible. And, like, it was so awesome. But, like, people
Then
at
online,
home,
yeah.
people at home don't see it like that. People at home think I'm trying to be someone, and it's like, no, literally, like, I'm trying to help my friends. Like, I care about these people at these concerts so much. Like, I got to the point where it's like, I've seen the band enough times that, like, I don't need some special moment. I would rather help other people have the best times of their lives, because I think it's a group mentality thing. If, like, everyone's having a great time, then I'm having a great time with them. And, like, I try to do that as many shows as possible. It's like, it's kind of a thing that, like, the band says, you know, it's like, we're essentially all one being. You know, like, we're all in it together. And, like, I try to, like, think about that during the show. I'm like, it's like, they're playing for us, and we are a collective. Like, I feel like I really realized that moment in New York, night 2. I sat in the stands. I wasn't in the pit. That was, like, the first time I ever did that. And I was watching the pit, and it looked like a live, living, breathing thing. And I was like,
Wait, why were you in the stands?
because
You just wanted to be?
Chase and Gabby and Danny were like, we're going to be in the stands. And I was like, all right.
Okay, so you just went with them.
I had literally...
I was going to say you had a pit ticket,
I
right?
had 6, you know, because I won them at the...
Did you give them away? Oh.
I didn't realize,
I won tickets for that one, too.
I didn't realize I had 4 extra tickets to that until
Damn, bro.
after the show. Someone was like, I feel bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but
That's
I feel
crazy.
bad. Like, this is the truth. And,
You know, I think I had extras for that show, too.
yeah. I'm not going to buy tickets for the New York one.
Yeah, you haven't bought tickets for Forest Hills?
I'll tell you right now, Mac, I don't have a single King Gizzard ticket.
Dude, you didn't buy tickets?
Yeah,
You gotta buy tickets.
I know, I need to. I'm gonna buy my tickets.
I'm just fucking with
I'm
you.
gonna buy them, alright? I mean, like, the ticket that I really want to purchase is Philadelphia. So then
Oh, right. That's one that I'm gonna have to buy as well.
I'm going to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in that pit. whether it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna be in that pit. Like,
It's the last thing you do. I hope not.
no, it's not gonna be the last thing I do. No. I'm gonna be doing it forever. I'm gonna go to every single show for the rest of my life.
But how long do you actually think that'll last, though?
I don't want to say it out loud, but like probably 30.
Okay. I mean, I guess you got to see where
It's
the
like,
river takes you. Who knows where it might go?
I'll
Maybe
tell you.
maybe you will keep doing it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know?
But like, do you want me to tell you the truth? This is something that like, you know this about me, but like, it's gonna be really hard for me to express it because I know other people are gonna watch it. But
Yeah.
Like,
This is some
my-
deep shit.
Yeah, my biggest fear is being alone. And I've
Right.
been single since I was 18. And I've always dreamed about having, like, a partner. And, like, yeah, I have a partner inside of Danny. But, like, Danny and me aren't gay.
I don't know about that.
We're not gay. And it's like we love each other like we're partners, but like it's platonic. And it's like, you know, like he lives in LA, I live in Florida. Like, it's like, you know, like he's my best friend in the whole world, and like I want to live with that guy, and like I love him to death, but like, you know, like I also kind of want a wife. And I feel like the further I go on, like, yeah, in this last tour, like I feel like I finally overcame that like need to like try to seek it, you know, like because
Yeah.
like I was always, dude, I would wake up literally every single day being like, I'm gonna find my wife today. Like, my friends at home they hate it. They're like so tired of it because like they're like, Ben, you want to come and hang out with us at the bar? And I'm like, yeah, let me like try to look as pretty as possible. And I'm like sprucing up. I'm like putting all this cologne on. I'm like, this is gonna be the day. Like, she's gonna be there. And I would show up and I would never talk to anyone because like I'm kind of socially awkward unless I'm at a King Gizzard concert or like with my friends from King Gizzard, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I do have like weird socially awkward tendencies when it comes to me trying to approach people that I'm attracted to. Like, it's so hard for me to like do that. And like, yeah, that's my biggest fear. And I feel like that's going to stop me from going to King Gizzard concerts. Like, one day I'm going to be like, look, it's not happening. I want to have a kid. I want to have like my own place. And like, maybe it's my mom grilling it into me, but like, what if there isn't someone that's for me at the King Gizzard tour? You know, because
Well, like, so what do you mean that's gonna stop you? Like, you're gonna have to stop and go find a wife? Like, you're gonna have to fucking swipe through Hinge or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna
Like,
well, like.
but you should just follow your heart and love will find you. No, is that bad?
Yes, it is. You're right. I should be doing what I want to do, and not care about a girl. But like.
But you shouldn't be attached to finding her at King Gizzard.
Oh yeah, now I feel like I finally separated myself with that, because like for a long time I was like, oh, I'm gonna meet her tonight at this show, and then like I finally realized is like I would rather go to the show like without like thinking about trying to meet someone new. I want to go to the show with my best friends, the people that I know I already love, and have the time of my life with them.
Yeah.
Like, that's way more fun than like trying to be like, oh my god. And like, I don't know. I kind of hate that I'm talking about this on the first episode. It's like, that's like,
I know. I'm like, are you putting this in?
I have to, right? It's,
Go for it if you're down.
yeah, whatever. I'm myself. I'm not gonna hide.
Fuck
who I
it.
am. I'm not gonna hide who I am. But yeah, that's me, guys. I'm afraid of women. Let's go. What's up? I'm Bacon. It's me.
But Yeah, I don't know. That's just interesting how. So 5 more years though. That's not very long. I don't know. I'm open to
Dude,
anything
and I
happening.
also like think like two other things could stop it. That's one for sure. Two other
The
things. The
apocalypse.
apocalypse is definitely one of them. I definitely do think the apocalypse is coming. Like all the time. I think, dude, like literally it could happen today. Like I don't know if you watch the news, but in my household we watch Fox News on the daily.
Fucking love the news.
and, and dude,
I
every
don't
single day.
actually. I don't watch the news at all.
Yeah, I don't do it because I want to. I hate it.
Yeah.
But like, look, every single day it gets scarier and scarier. Like, it's like
That's
the
what the news is
apocalypse.
for.
Yeah, and like, apocalypse sounds like it's coming. And like, also, I feel like listening to what the band has been saying, I feel like they're gonna slow down.
Yeah, anything could happen.
Like
Anything could happen.
they talk about it like more and more and more that they're like, like, dude, Phantom Island. They say it in like 5 different songs of how much they
What does
miss
it
their
say?
home.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
miss
true.
my home, and then in Space Sick, they're like, God, I wish I was with my wife and kid. Like,
Does it say that?
June 22. You don't know
I,
that they say he says like,
well, yeah, I don't know what happened in June 22.
the song is about how he's an astronaut in space, like who misses his wife and kid. He's like, I wish I was at a shitty diner with my with my fork on the plate or whatever. I don't know
Okay.
the exact lyrics, but he's like,
I have been looking at the lyrics today since I've been listening to it
but
so
yeah,
much.
Space Sick is like, it's a log that he's sending back to his wife and saying like, I miss
Is that the one
you.
where it says, like, this will take 620 years or
Yeah,
something at the end?
yeah. And then like the Ambrose part, I feel like it's supposed to be his kid like becoming an astronaut, like just shooting
I
off
don't
into
think
space.
Ambrose has a kid.
No, but he doesn't have a kid, but in the song, like he is Stu's kid.
Oh, okay.
And then he says June 22. Sorry, there was something wrong with the transmission. God, I miss you. I love you. I swear that's what it's about. I swear. I can look up the lyrics right now, bro. Like, I promise.
No, I believe you.
They say it like 5 times in that album. And it's like, why else would they be saying it if they didn't believe it? And
Yeah, it's a beautiful album.
it is beautiful. It is really
I
beautiful.
love it.
Um, trying to think, how did we get to this point? Where can I go back to? 24 tour was the best time of my life, and I specifically was trying to make it the best time of my life because I used to have this thought more often than not that I was like, dude, the apocalypse is like every single day. Like, it's gonna happen. And like that tour, I was like, I need to have the best time of my life because if the apocalypse happens now, like money doesn't matter. So I spent every single cent I had up until the last point in Miami. I was like, I'm gonna throw out this blowout party. I'm gonna buy this Airbnb. We're gonna have this awesome party. And I like spent all the money I had to do that.
Oh my
And
god, that's crazy.
yeah,
That was a last minute decision to book the Airbnb.
no, I was thinking about that since the beginning of the first tour. I was like, I want to have an awesome blowout party. Because I was always like, ah, man, after the shows, what do? We never have plans. We should have an awesome party. Who else should do it other than me? And so
Yeah.
then I did it, and it was like really awesome. It was like the best party ever. But like going home was $0 to my name, and then returning back to a home that I was not comfortable with was so miserable. I walked into the door with Danny and Gary into my roommates fighting with each other, and like it was like one of the worst fights that they ever had. Like I walked in the door as it's happening, and I was like, "Gosh, great to be home." And it's like, whenever I dropped Danny off at the airport, I like cried like a baby. And at first, I said it was like, "Oh, it's because I'm gonna miss Danny," but the truth of the matter is like, God, I hate living in this home so much. Sorry to
Yeah.
all my previous roommates that have to watch this and hear that I hated living there so much that I was bawling my eyes out.
You think they'll watch it?
Yeah, I think. I don't know. What's up? How's it going, guys? I love you. Um, but no, yeah, like I was so miserable, and then like I tried to rekindle some like kind of weird relationship thing I had with this one girl at the farmers market, and then she told me, and it's stuck in my head to this day. She was like, "You will never ever find someone at one of those concerts to be with. Like, that is never gonna happen. Like,
Damn, why is she so mean about it? Why does she care?
yeah, well, because she wanted me. She was like,
Oh, she was just
she saw
jealous.
the light inside of me, and she was like, I want to be a part of that. I want it for myself."
Let me
She'll
try to
watch
make
this,
it
so 100% she'll watch this.
darker.
Nice going. And, yeah, so going back, and then like I didn't have a job for a whole year at that point because like I tried to start 2 businesses in 24. I was like, I'm gonna be the tie-dye guy and I'm gonna be the vegan ice cream guy, and I started this vegan ice cream business at the farmers market. I was doing both at the same time. I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna work a job ever again. Fuck being a pizza delivery guy. Pizza delivery sucks. And whenever I came home, I realized like I had no way of actually making that trip. Right? There is no possible way I could actually go on the next European tour and make those businesses work. And so I had to go get a job. And like returning back to that pizza job made me miserable because like I felt like such a failure. Partly because like, you know, I feel like it's an American thing that like, you know, like your job is like what you do. You know, it's like the one thing like
Yeah. When someone says like, "Oh, what do you do?" It's like the answer is your job.
yeah, like that's what like that's all the only thing, like that's the thing. Like when you go and you talk to someone new in America at least, it's
Yeah.
like that's what it is. It's your
It is an American thing.
yeah. That's what I realized in Europe. It's like, psh, dude, they don't care about your job at all. No one asks me what I did.
What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah, what do you actually do?
Yeah.
It's so much more important. And so like my mom would like you know like make me feel like returning back to a pizza delivery job is not the path that I should be doing. I should go and try to find a career. And like
Right.
I know better than anyone. I don't belong in a career. I belong at King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Like, that's where I belong. Like that's home to me. It feels way more like at home there. Like I come back home and it sucks. I'm like, gosh, don't want to be here. I want to be on King Gizzard tour. That's where it feels like I am myself.
But there has to be a balance. It can't be never-ending tour. I mean, this year kind of is a never-ending tour, but I guess that's going to be the ultimate challenge
Well, like,
to.
that's what I tried to tell like you know Danny or George. It's like, look, the only possible way that we can make it feel like King Gizzard tour never ends is if we live together.
But do you want to feel like it never ends? Because
Yeah.
then, I mean, you can't constantly travel though.
Well, no, we would come home.
I mean, you can, but
We would come home and I would still be with my best friends. Like right now, like
right.
I don't.
But that's,
have
I mean,
my
that's
best
part
friends.
of tour, but that's different.
I want to be with my best friends all the time. I don't want to like, oh, I'll see you guys in a month. I'll see you guys in
Right.
6 months.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like, yeah, it's fun to talk to them on the phone, but it's so much funner to kiss them on the lips. You know? Gosh.
Yeah, it's weird that we've only been back for like 10 days. Not even.
Yeah, not even or something. Right? It's been 10 days already.
It's been like a week. It's been like a week.
Yeah, I came back on Tuesday, and it's Wednesday.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. It's been 8 days.
From the best shows ever, Bonnaroo.
Bonnaroo, happy Roo. I got rid of my bracelet today. It finally got annoying to me.
Should have kept it on. You still have it though, right?
Yeah, I kept it, but it was so annoying today.
Yeah. Why were you were trying to keep it on till FOV or?
I wanted it. I wanted. I wanted Stu to see it. I wanted to find Stu and be like, I've been to every single show for the last 55 shows, and I was gonna go to Bonnaroo. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
'Cause it's in my
Looking
head.
at the poster makes me feel weird. It's so like magical. The fact that it didn't happen is like, whoa, what were they gonna do?
Dude, they're gonna play Change.
They probably didn't even know what they were gonna
No,
do.
they had no idea what they were gonna do. I feel like they pulled out all the tricks in their fucking sleeves and plopped it.
But they had to have had something planned, dude. They're the fucking residency at Bonnaroo. And I remember someone asked if they had themed nights or something, and on the Reddit, and I think Stu replied and said like, we have something crazy planned or something. Special.
I think you're right. I think that did happen.
I really want to know,
I
but
wanna know too.
it's like sad. It's like a dream. Being there feels like a dream. Like thinking about being at that campground feels like it's the Phantom Island. It's like, what, did it exist? Like,
They probably would have played like what I was always saying. I don't know if I told you what I wanted them to do for that hour set is literally play the dripping tap the whole time.
they weren't gonna do that
Oh,
though.
but like if they did,
That'd be
like,
so funny.
No, if they started with the tap and like they would play other songs in the middle of it, but they would end it with the tap. Like,
Yeah.
the
No, I
whole
just
time.
think one tap.
No,
I mean, it would naturally progress into other songs, right?
Like you know how like they throw in some jams in the middle of the tap.
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah, and then they would,
play other
yeah,
songs
for
and
sure.
stuff. So they would do stuff like that. Like, they would like throw in some non-agonic.
But would they have a set list? Or would it just be the dripping tap?
Dripping tap, bro.
How many times could we crowd surf in an hour? Oh my god.
Dude, I'm like, that's what I
Literally
wanted
100.
so bad.
Imagine you crowd surf literally 100 times.
Nah, 60 would be max for sure. You can only do one a minute.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
You can't. Do
That's
one.
pushing it a little bit.
Exactly. It's too much. I feel like that would have bin like the coolest thing ever in my head.
That would be really
Like
sick.
they would do
On a
dripping
Sunday
tap
at like 6 p.m.
in the middle of that heat. Oh my god.
for 1 hour.
Yeah. No, and they would play other songs, but then they would come back and like drip drip from the tap, don't slip. And we'd do that for another 10 minutes.
The drip and tap.
And then they would come back with the drip and tap.
That'd be
like, to close it
so
out.
funny.
I thought that would have been like such a cool idea.
I loved the tap in Plovdiv though.
Dude,
That was the beginning of the second show, right?
yeah. I was a
That was
good
beautiful.
one, but I thought the Lithuanian one was just 10 times better.
Oh, well, that was just really fun. That was like,
Yeah.
I think the adrenaline of
Yeah.
just crowd
Yeah,
surfing
that
is,
was-
I mean,
Oh, it makes it 10 times better.
yeah.
But I got picked up enough times in Plovdiv.
Picked up.
Yeah.
Oh, but like a fish?
Yeah, like a fish. That made me feel.
I literally cannot believe I missed it.
Dude,
Like, what?
dude, they played Plastic Boogie. We're like, oh my god, fishing for fishies. What we gotta.
Yeah,
be a
and
fish.
that's why I went down there. I was like, this is going to happen.
and
And
I was waiting for the right time, but you weren't looking. What should
you
I?
know,
have been like,
and
Makayla?
looking back, I went down there and I was looking, and then I was like, oh, it's not happening yet. I kept looking, it wasn't happening, and then I feel like I just locked in
Yeah,
because
you
I don't
did.
even really remember Plastic Boogie.
Yeah, you.
I'm like,
you-
did they
I was-
actually play that? It
I
did
was
not
like-
feel real.
Yeah.
Well, how long was it? Did they jam it?
No.
It was really good though. That was one of the last songs of the night, kind of, right?
Kind of. Yeah, it was definitely the second half, like pushing like the last.
What did they end with? What was the last song
You
of the
don't
tour?
remember what happened on the last one? Come on.
Oh,
It was Rattlesnake.
I remember.
It was Rattlesnake.
Of course, that's a perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Because what else? I mean, the Ender, the Ender.
I knew it from a mile away they were gonna do Rattlesnake too.
Me too.
I was like-
Because they hadn't played. Did they play any microtonal in Plovdiv?
Yeah, they played Static Electricity
Okay, but not the third night. They didn't play any microtonal the third night,
until
except Rattlesnake. Yeah, but then when I saw the microtonal guitar. I was like, I kind of felt like the show was going to end around like Plastic Boogie, and then I saw the
It
microtonal
was
guitar,
like
and I was like, it's going to be
they did
Rattlesnake.
Hot Wax, and then what they did like
Yeah.
they did like metal after Hot Wax, I think.
I don't know. I would have to look.
I think they
But
did.
I Float Along is always like a good
Yeah.
closer.
But no,
And
they
apparently
did-
Gila Monster.
No, they did. The Rattlesnake was perfect, and George.
It was so good.
Dude,
Oh my
when
god.
George got down, he was acting like the snake. That was the funniest thing. I've
Oh,
ever
I know,
seen.
that was so good.
That was
And
so
just when
fucking
everyone
funny.
was screaming, rattle, 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 like over and over, oh my god, we're not a cult.
No, not even a little bit. I think it's so crazy how Rattlesnake is like their most popular song.
It's interesting. But what else is it gonna be? Work this time? Like,
like it's so crazy.
because it's so catchy, it's so easy.
It's so easy, I
But what
guess.
actually, if I look up on Spotify, what actually
Spotify
comes
is
up?
Work This
It's
Time.
Dead Stick. It's Dead Stick. Well, what right now,
Yeah,
the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is all the new album.
yeah.
But, and then it's Work This Time. It's literally the whole new album and then Work This Time.
It's gonna be Work This Time because.
But that's because Work This
Coachella
Time was on
thing.
playlists or something.
Yeah.
Oh, what about Coachella? They
So
played it at
they-
Coachella?
No, they made a Coachella playlist and they
Oh, and
Work
put
This
that
Time
song.
on it.
And then at Coachella, they just played like metal or Murder the Universe or something.
I don't know what they played at Coachella. I don't remember listening to that back. I don't really listen to concerts I wasn't at. I feel like there's
Yeah, I don't either.
there's
Well, like I said, I don't really listen to the live stuff too much, which is kind of funny.
no, I almost exclusively listen to the live stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny how hard. I think they were on at like midnight or something, but they also were like, fuck Coachella.
Oh, they went on a minute.
But they did Digital Black to Murder the Universe, and then Planet B, Mars to the Ridge, Organ Farmer, Predator X, Gaia, Dripping Tap.
Oh my god, that's like the.
And then the
hardest song of all
first
time.
weekend, it was Rattlesnake for 20 minutes, Honey,
Whoa.
Self-Immolate, Venetian 2, Mars for the Ridge, Gaia, Gamma Knife. Damn, they repeated 2 weekends in Coachella in
No
2022.
way. Dang.
And then they played in 2017 too. And they literally played like the same shit. Well, not really, not
Yeah,
really.
2017 is the one where they did the Work This Time thing. I'm pretty sure. That's when they.
But I know Sense is one of their more popular songs too.
Yeah, I think like Work This Time and Sense makes way more sense in my head. But
I can't think of what else it could be though.
the River.
Right. Well, that's like the fan. Right, but why isn't their number one, you mean? Well,
The River.
they
is
do
the-
they really have a song that they should be ending every show or tour with? Obviously, they're not going to do that, but like
No.
Rattlesnake works.
No, it was the River in my
So you think they should end the tour with the River?
head. I think
They could do
should-
that.
I think
They
should
could do
end-
that.
They could, yeah. Like when they ended Lisbon with the River, like that was the best ending they could have ever done.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Like, dude, it felt like a real encore. After before the last part, they were like, "Thank you guys so much. We love you all so much," and it kind of looked like they were gonna walk off the stage for a second, but then they were like, "Nah, we gotta finish the River," and it was like the coolest ending to the River.
Oh, because it was like the song. You mean in the middle of the river they did that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I know. I kind of felt like they were gonna end.
Yeah, I was with Danny because I just crowd surfed and I found Danny in the middle of it and I was like, Danny, I was like, there's no way they're gonna end right here, dude. They're gonna finish it. And whenever they started again, I was like, let's go, and I immediately just ran right into that pit.
Yeah, that was really beautiful. Lisbon. I mean, I have to
That's the best river of all
look
time.
back at those set lists. Oh yeah, I saw your ranking today, but I don't remember it.
It's
What other river did we get this tour? Was it Plovdiv?
Plovdiv, they played the river, yeah.
Was that the only other time? This tour?
They ended that show with the river too, and that was so sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't do it in Lithuania.
And we also only got 2 rattlesnakes, which is crazy.
What was the other rattlesnake?
Lisbon.
Lisbon as well? Yeah.
Unless there's another one I'm missing, but
You're right.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
But for us to say, like, oh, those should be the 2 songs or whatever, and they only got played twice on the tour, it's so interesting. But obviously they were repeating, I think they played Antarctica in every stop, maybe, and
They play
a couple
Larissa in
other
every
newer
stop.
songs. Which one?
Larisk.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
Gila Monster.
Yeah.
Probably like Converge.
Yeah, it was just Petro and Silver Cord and B741 that got played every stop, I think.
No,
I don't know.
Silver
Maybe
Cord
Rat's
and-
Nest.
Silver Cord, like they.
Well, not the song, but the album.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, songs from that album got played every stop. You know, I mean,
I mean, they probably play Nonagon every stop.
they didn't play Robot? I mean, I would have to look, but
Dude, Robot Stop should be their #1 song.
that's true. That could be like a... I don't know about a closer, but that's like a classic
I
opener, I
think
feel
Head on
like.
Pill should be their most popular song.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Like, that's like. I don't think they should have
The best one.
They purposely don't have a most popular song. They try.
Yeah, I feel like they
make
try to
sure-
keep it, yeah.
They don't want to have a song that they play every single show. Like they hate that idea. They've said
I
it
wonder
multiple
if
times.
they would ever do that. At
Well,
this
like,
point,
orchestra-
probably not.
They have to.
Right, but that's different.
I wonder
Gosh,
if
but I
those 10
wonder-
songs that they add at the end, like, what if they get bored of playing those songs and we don't hear them for a while?
That could happen. I also was thinking, I wonder if the 10 songs... So are you the one that talked to Stu in Oklahoma about it?
Yeah.
You're the one who asked him.
No, someone
Or
else
did you hear...
asked. Yeah, someone
you
else
heard.
asked. Yeah, but I was there.
And what did he say?
So the person asked, like, are you going to switch up the shows for the orchestra tour? And he said, no, we can't do that because, like, we have to send the sheet music to the different symphonies in advance. And
Right.
what they're going to do is have Phantom Island in full and then the same 10 songs at every single stop.
Okay. 10.
He said 10 songs, yeah.
One sec. Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I don't think they're mine.
I'm totally okay.
I wonder if it will change in the UK
I was thinking that too.
or in Australia.
I think there's a possibility. But
Yeah.
I also feel like, do you think that they're gonna jam?
How?
Right?
No, I don't think so.
So no jamming.
With the orchestra?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how that works. That would mean the orchestra would have to jam, right?
They could say, oh, I don't know.
Like, so is the orchestra going to have a conductor?
Yeah, so, like, what, I was talking to my parents about it, and they think that what probably will happen is that there will be a pit that the orchestra sits in front of the band, and that we can't really see because they will be significantly lower than the band, and the band's going to be behind them, up on a stage. We're going to mainly see the band, but there will be like a conductor dude that like conducts them.
So, like, Forest Hills, how is it going to be different than last time? Because that's not that big of a stage.
Dude, I don't know.
How are they fitting an orchestra?
I don't know, but I'm so
And, like, how many
excited.
people's in an orchestra?
26
26, okay.
is what it says online.
Okay.
Like for each of these, it says 26.
Okay. Gosh, dude.
I know.
It's going to be gnarly.
Like, Forest Hills makes no sense to me. But they're gonna still have the pit that we all are in, right?
Right, that's what I don't get.
That's crazy to me. Because, like, then we're gonna actually be able to crowd surf to orchestra music.
Yeah.
And
I think so.
that's, like, the coolest thing ever to me.
To
Like,
crowd surf.
The dead
Well, yeah,
stick-
you said you're going to have to be the first one up, right?
Well, like, it
You're trying to be the
depends.
first one up?
I'm not gonna crowd surf to Phantom Island. If someone wants to crowd surf to Phantom Island before me, go right ahead. But when Dead Stick
I mean,
comes
I
on,
might, dude. I might.
dude, when Dead Stick comes on, I know I'm getting it. Because I want to get up and I want to act like I'm like crashing the plane Dead Stick.
Like a dead stick.
Yeah, I'm like, the Dead Stick.
Or you gotta wear your flight suit.
Yeah.
So are you gonna wear... Can we talk about your attire?
No.
Or is that a
no,
surprise?
it's
But are you gonna wear that to every show?
dude, I told everybody I was gonna wear those overalls to every single show last in 24.
Oh, what happened to him?
In New York, the first night, I got
They got wet.
I got soaked. I got drenched.
And they're denim, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Drenched. Like, I'm not even joking. They were sopping wet after the end of that show. And I was like, I'm not putting them on tomorrow. So it's like, oh well.
Yeah. And then you guys slept in the car, huh? Oh my god, so where were the overalls? Like on top of the car?
No, they were in the car.
In the car.
Yeah.
Nasty. It was hot too. It was like weird.
Yeah, dude, that was bad. Yeah. Dude, it's gonna be so much worse this time, man.
Yeah, we gotta get a room. I don't know what are you gonna sleep in your car?
I'm gonna sleep in my car unless someone is like, yo, Ben, I have a room.
Yeah, well, I would like to get a room in New York.
In New York, there is a group of people.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, in New York, there's a group of people that are like, I want to get a room. And I was like, yeah, I want to get a room with you guys. But then, like, that plan kind of fizzled. I need to, like, hit them up.
You'll be fine, though. But, I mean, your car is, like, okay. Wasn't it bad because there's two of you? Or did you have a bed, then?
Yeah, I had a little bed thing, yeah. But, so, dude, one of the funniest stories from the Washington show, after that Washington show...
The Gorge?
No, oh,
or Rim
DC,
Liquor?
DC.
Oh,
DC.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah, my bad.
Rim Liquor.
That DC show, me and Danny were like, all right, we're going to go to the Planet Fitness and shower, and then we are going to sleep in the car inside of the Planet Fitness parking lot. That was our plan. And we ended up showing up at the Planet Fitness at like 3:30 in the morning because we had a side quest that we had to do. And then we ended up showing up there at 3:30. We walked into the Planet Fitness bathroom, and it was the most disgusting shower.
Oh, I remember
I've
you
ever,
said
dude,
that.
Like, the
How could it be so bad?
Dude, because they were doing renovation on it, and they just, like, stopped doing the renovation on it. And so, like,
Abandoned it?
Yeah, they abandoned it. And it was inside of, like, a mall, too. And, so, like, the drain covers, they didn't exist. There was just a hole. And there was just shit on the floor already, and we're taking a shower there. It was so
Poop?
bad. Huh?
Poop?
No, I did not poop.
No. Poop on the floor or just
no
shit?
Poop on the floor. No poop.
I thought you meant literal shit.
No, there was no shit on the floor. And then like like the restroom part of it, like not the shower part, the restroom part was like where the main renovation was going on, and those toilets didn't work, and they were all filled to the brim with piss and shit. And so that room smelled horrible, and we're like, dude, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We got in our car, and we'd like try to like block out our stuff with like.
Did you guys shower there?
Yeah, we showered there. It was gross, but we did it. And we got into the car, and we both got in the back to lay in the bed, and it was so hot. You know, it's the middle of fucking summer. And
Yeah.
dude, oh my god. We got back there, and we tried to go to sleep like that at first, and then some dude knocks.
In DC?
Yeah, in DC, and someone knocks on the window and is like, "Look, guys, you can't sleep here." And it's like, dude.
Some security guy?
Yeah, some security guy. And we're like, dude, it's 4 a.m, bro. We're trying to go to sleep right now. Bug off, man. And he's like, dude, you guys seem like nice guys. Like, just go down right there. If you park right there, there's no cameras. My boss won't get mad because he can't see you. I'm like, thank you. We went over there, and I slept for literally 4 hours, like back to back with Danny, sweating so bad. It was so
You
bad.
only need 2 hours, right?
Yeah, I got 4 hours. I woke up with a blistering headache, and I was like, I'm gonna go and get some medicine. I walked to the Walgreens, and I got some like ibuprofen or whatever.
Sounds like an uncomfortable start
Yeah,
to the
no,
tour.
yeah, it was for sure. But we
Yeah.
were laughing about it, how miserable.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah.
That's like the
That's what
yeah,
happened.
that's the great thing about being on King Gizzard tour with your best friend. It's like, no matter what situation I'm in, it doesn't matter because I'm on King Gizzard
Yeah.
tour with my best friend. Like, it's everything is
Yeah.
the funniest thing ever. Like, I'm having the time of my life being miserable.
Yeah, I know, right? I feel that.
It was
It's funny.
I enjoyed it. I love telling the story too. Like, it's funny to me.
The very first night.
Yeah.
So you guys woke up and then drove to New York in the morning?
Yeah. Yeah.
We drove overnight that night. So I didn't sleep that night. Yeah.
Dude, and the traffic was
It was
horrible
rough.
on the way to New York. There was like some like weather event or something.
Yeah, that was a weird beginning to the tour. Yeah, that tour was nuts, dude. Long one.
Yeah, that one was definitely really. But dude, at the gorge, at the end of it, like I was like the most cheerful, happy person ever. Like, I was so ready. I was like so happy. And then,
No shoes.
and, yeah. Oh, man, that's so funny. And
Or
then
one shoe, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I had my one shoe. Not 4 other.
Yeah.
That's-
Oh my
that's
god, the
so
gorge
funny.
was incredible. That was a beautiful ending.
Yeah, it
Perfect.
was. Yeah, it really was.
Glad that was the end.
Yeah. I was like, the return to camping was like, perfect. Even though that first night, whenever I came in, I immediately got shit faced and puked my guts out.
Yeah, that was bad.
Dude, I have a.
That was bad. You're just too excited or what?
Well, you know what it was. Sorry, mom and dad, but it was because I mixed my vodka drinking with my weed smoking.
But why'd you go so hard?
Well,
You're
like,
too excited.
Well, like, Amethyst was there, and Amethyst was like, "What do you want to drink?" And I was like, "Vodka, straight from the bottle." He was like, "All
It's
right."
Amethyst's fault.
And so then he was like, "I'm gonna bring the Dr. Pepper, fucking chaser." And so I was like, Dr. Pepper, and it felt like nothing, and everything felt completely fine. I was completely fine until I walked up to where you were hanging out with Lance, and Lance had a blunt, and he was like, "Bro, hit this."
Oh, at the gorge?
Yeah.
I was like, what are we talking about again? Which one?
And I hit his blunt.
Yeah.
And immediately spinning. I'm horrible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if you witnessed me after that, but that's when I started vomiting.
No, I did. Yeah, I remember. He was kind of similar to Bonnaroo.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Bonnaroo, like, I was thinking about it today. I was like, dude, that's like probably the worst like I've ever acted. I shouldn't.
It was the Ben Bacon crash out of the decade.
Yeah, like, I gotta make sure like like that stays there. Like, I'm not talking about that one publicly.
What happens at Bonnaroo
Yeah,
stays at
what happens
Bonnaroo.
stays at Bonnaroo. That's it.
Or what doesn't happen at Bonnaroo.
Yeah, no, I don't want to drink anymore. I know.
Me neither.
I know I'm gonna drink eventually again in the future because I always say this. I say this a lot. Every single time I vomit, I'm like, I'm never drinking again. Or like, I really.
That's what a lot of people say, huh?
I really don't want to drink again, and I haven't.
You can do it.
I've only had like 2 sips of alcohol because someone's like, Ben, please try this. And I love trying things.
Yeah, I mean, the hardest part will probably be, like, on tour, right? Well, will it really be that hard?
No, the tour, FOV will be hard. Yes. But,
I mean, you could just make the decision, and then I feel like once you get through the whole tour, you'll be fine.
yeah. Well, like,
You know?
what's gonna be really hard is I'm going to 3 weddings this year, and that's gonna be the.
When are they?
hardest.
When are the dates?
So one's in September, One's in October and one's
Oct-
December.
but it all works out?
Yeah, it all works out.
Nice.
I know, it's so crazy. Like,
But so why do you think you want to get drunk at the weddings, though? Just
because,
because fuck it?
well, like, these people, these 3 people, all of them know me as the dude that gets really drunk at the parties and has a
Right, so is it like that?
well, like that. I feel like it would be a disservice to who I am as Ben Bacon to not get drunk at their wedding. Like, they want me to get drunk at their
Okay, so, but do you want to?
wedding. Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
But, like, I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to crash out.
I have a bad problem where, like, once I get started, it's so much easier for me to get more liquid down my throat. Like the first beer is the hardest. The 5th beer, it's like water.
That's crazy. Never had a beer in my life.
I've never drank a single beer. Bud Light is fantastic. You gotta try Bud Light.
No, never.
No, it's not good for you. I will widely say it. I've said it forever. I think alcohol is the worst drug you could possibly do. There's no drug that is worse than alcohol.
Well, that might not be true, but
It kills more people every year than any other drug.
but that's just because of how casual it's used.
That's the problem with alcohol.
Yeah.
That's
But like
the
if everyone
problem
was
with
doing
alcohol.
heroin like that, heroin would probably be worse.
Yeah, but heroin, you don't casually do
I
heroin.
know.
You casually
So though
drink
just
a beer.
alcohol in general, the usage, yeah.
I think it's the most dangerous. Like you get the most messed up on alcohol. Like on the other drugs.
Yeah, and you don't remember.
don't remember.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like Vegas.
Like Vegas, that's so sad, dude.
Such a good show.
Yeah. And everyone told me how much fun I had.
Yeah, you crowd surfed like 25 times.
Like I can't.
Literally.
I can't remember that. The only time that I remember crowd surfing is whenever I got dropped and I hit my head really hard, and everyone.
When
was
did
like,
that?
Everyone was like,
Oh, in Barcelona too.
Yeah, that happened in Barcelona too.
But I guess that wasn't as bad. I forgot about that Vegas flop. That was bad.
Well, apparently, there was a dude on the rail that did not like it that I was crowd surfing 25 times, and he threw me. That's what I heard.
Well, I wouldn't like it either, honestly.
To be fair.
But like,
It
I
was
get
the
it.
same guy,
But like,
come on with this guy.
I mean, I've been both people,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
you gotta choose your fight.
I feel like I've never been the guy on the rail that's putting the same dude over and over again.
Yeah, I guess
I've
never
never-
this because that's you. Because you're the same dude. Or fucking
Jamie.
who else is it? Cole. Yeah, or Jamie.
Dude, Jamie. And then
Those you three are the main surfers of 2024, I think.
for sure.
In the fall. It was like
Yeah,
every
because
show.
The summer one, like I was on the rail every single show.
Yeah. Every show?
No.
Not Edgefield. But most of them,
A lot of them.
at least the first, yeah.
DC, dude, it was DC, New York, night 1, night 2 I didn't, then Boston, and then Maine, and then Toronto I was 1 behind, and then Detroit couldn't be there, Cleveland I didn't do it, and then
You didn't?
no Cleveland I sat up in the stands again. It was
Okay.
I don't know why. Me, Chase, and Danny.
I'm trying to remember the Cleveland venue.
Cleveland
Okay,
show
it was
to
like
me
cement and like on the water.
Yeah. Cleveland show to me was kind of boring.
I really liked that one. I feel like I kind of get those confused though, like Cleveland and Newport, and
Love
the other one, like the venues just kind of like blend together for me, the vibes. Newport was really sick
Yeah,
though.
Newport I was on the rail. I think that was after Cleveland, Newport.
Yes.
And then what was the after
And
that?
then Philly and then Richmond.
Yeah, Philly, I was the number 1 seat. And Richmond, I was on the rail. Asheville, I was on the rail. Nashville, I was like, nah, I'm getting drunk in the pit, and had a fun time there. And then Chicago, I was on the rail.
Yeah.
Like, then it was Minneapolis, I was, and then Milwaukee, I wasn't.
And I wasn't at those.
And then St. Louis,
Omaha.
I was. Omaha, I wasn't. And then it was Red Rocks. And then it was Edgefield, Vancouver, and Gorge, I was not. Gorge, I was for a second right behind you. And then I was like, not having it.
Yeah, the gorge was fucking rough. Clearly, if the rail's breaking. Yeah, that was. Yeah. That was like a life-threatening moment. It felt like everyone was going to die for a sec.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly. That's how I felt being up there. I was like, oh my god, that's like a disaster.
Yeah, it did feel dangerous.
But at least, I mean, the pit was... There wasn't that many... It wasn't like thousands of people in the pit, you know? It really wasn't that big of a pit.
But the problem with the pit, it was slanted.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people in the pit, like... I don't know who they were. They seemed really young to me. And they would run down the hill and shove as hard as they can.
Oh my god. Yeah, someone mentioned to me, someone that I met in the airport, like after all the shows happened in Europe, they said that they thought, or it looked like to them, that people were trying to break the rail at the gorge.
Yeah, no,
or in the pit.
There was like so what was happening is there was a lot of people that were like specifically trying to cause crowd crush. Like I saw it happening, especially during the metal, like during Motor Spirit. They were like trying to do it, and then once they like stopped playing and they were like, "Yo, this rail's about to break," there was like a group of like 2-3 guys that were like, "We need to do a circle. No more pushing. We need to do a circle." And then like I started to do it too. I was like, "We need to do a circle."
Yeah, well, why do you want to fucking push like that?
I don't want to. I like circle pits.
Yeah, I don't get that. I think, what else is there besides a circle pit?
Shove.
Right, a pit's got to be a circle, right?
Personally, as a runner, I like to run in circles. I do.
Yeah.
I like. It's kind of like a thing that I've been doing for like my whole life. Is like pacing in a circle. So like it feels like I'm.
That's what you say.
Like,
but even if you're like shoving each other, you're still in a circle usually. You don't want to be shoving up to the rail. I don't know.
Well, like sometimes, like for instance, Head On Pill in Lithuania, I was like really far back, and when I noticed they were playing Head On Pill, I ran through to try to be as close as possible. And I was like putting my finger up, and I was like, yeah. And I got to be the second person behind the guy behind rail.
Yeah.
Like same for Mirage
it wasn't
City.
Very tight.
Mirage City in Athens. As soon as I heard they were playing Mirage
Oh
City,
my god, that was so good.
I'm getting.
I was freaking out.
Because like
that was so good.
I want to be as close as possible for those like my favorite ones. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, Mirage City's so good. It's weird. I've listened to Phantom Island so many times. I feel like I haven't listened to B7 for one since coming back.
Oh yeah, I've not.
Which I was listening to that at an excessive rate before tour.
I've been listening to Caverns a lot though too since it's on Apple Music now.
See, I haven't yet.
Dude,
just a couple tracks, but
it's the night 4. You know, it's the ending half of night 4 that I really love. I really love most of what I like, and Presumptuous, Her and I.
Yeah, Her and I.
I love them.
So good. Yeah, I'm very nostalgic for those shows now.
Like truly, that's where I transitioned. What a man. You know, we've been talking for like an hour and a half now.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how long you want to make the episodes. Do you know how long?
I think an hour and a half is a pretty good time.
I think so too.
We did not even. I think we did a good job. Personally.
I think that's fine. I think we can just keep letting it flow, like from the next time whenever we pick up.
Yeah, for sure. We should have an outro right now.
Okay.
Yo, what's up, Ben Bacon Nation? It's your boy, Bacon, Mac, and Cheese. coming in to close out this episode. This is episode numero uno, and we will plan to make more. Obviously, this is our first episode, new to doing something like this. We don't know what we're doing. We're having fun. If anyone has any suggestions or want to comment on anything, please leave suggestions below. And if you do like this and want to support us, you can check out our Instagram pages, and you can go to my website. And I know, Makayla, you have a website too, right?
I do, yeah, kind of. Yeah, I do.
Go to the website, because we don't want to work jobs. Like, I don't want to be a Domino's pizza delivery driver anymore. I want to be able to do tie-dyes full time, and that's the absolute best way you can support me, is to leave a comment, check out the website, like and subscribe. I love you all. I love you all so much. I really do. It's so much fun being myself now. It took me a while to love being myself. It really did. It took me 25 years. And I'll proudly say it. Like, I love myself. I love myself.
Hell yeah.
I love myself. Alrighty.
See you next time.
See you next time.